Hey, good afternoon, and thank you for all of you for being here today. My name is Jerry Montesmith. I'm the Investigations Bureau Commander. Today we want to just provide some feedback and some updates on some of the recent homicide investigations that we've experienced in our city. Today we're holding the press conference to help answer some of the questions the public may have regarding the recent events that have taken place. We will not be able to provide all answers, as we have to let the legal process do its job, but we want to be as transparent as possible and with the work our amazing officers are doing to solve these recent crimes. It is also important to note that some of the information may change as new information discovered in these cases may become available. We would like to first and foremost offer our condolences to everyone impacted by these recent losses within our community. We want to take into account homicide number 11, which occurred on July 21st, 2025. Officers responded to the case address at 4500 South Topeka Boulevard on the report of a shooting. The victim, Gerald Avery, 33 years of age, was found suffering from gunshot wounds. The victim was transported to a local hospital where the victim was pronounced deceased by medical staff there. We would like to ask the public for any information regarding this shooting. Homicide number 14. On August 6, 2025, at 11:13 p.m., officers responded to the case address of the 100 block of Northwest Kendall on the report of a shooting. The victim, a Drew Davis, 42 years of age, was found suffering from a gunshot wound at that case address. Life-saving measures were taken, but they were unsuccessful, and he was pronounced deceased at the scene by medical personnel. We would like to ask the public for any information regarding this shooting or this homicide. And again, as we highlight the information that's available, we have the Tell TPD email address that is sent to our Investigations Bureau on any tips that are provided by the public. We encourage that, as well as the phone number where they can reach out to someone at 785-368-9400. We would also like to offer that sometimes information can be provided anonymously through Crime Stoppers at the phone number of 785-234-0007, and you can also make anonymous tips online at the email address below at www.p3tips.com/128. And with that, I'll be followed by Assistant Chief Cross.
The next two homicides we're going to discuss come from this weekend. We experienced multiple tragic events this weekend, and we want to highlight a few of those in hopes that members of our community can come forward and help us with resolutions to these. On November 22nd, 2025, at approximately 12:58 a.m., officers from the Topeka Police Department responded to a 911 call in the area of 37th and Adams regarding gunshots. There were multiple calls to this area, and as officers were arriving, a second call came in from a local hospital indicating that a gunshot victim had arrived by private vehicle. That gunshot victim arriving by private vehicle did not survive their injuries and was pronounced deceased by medical staff. That gunshot victim from this weekend was a 16-year-old Topeka male. We ask the public for any assistance they can provide. We put our Crime Stoppers numbers up here. We'll continue to broadcast our Crime Stoppers numbers everywhere we can, 234-0007 in the Topeka area. If you know anything on this incident, reach out. Let us know what you know. We need any tips we can get on this case. There's a second incident from over the weekend. It's drawn a lot of interest from our community, a lot of concern from our community. This incident occurred shortly after 8 p.m. when officers from the Topeka Police Department responded to a local restaurant in the 1200 block of Southwest Gage regarding a shooting. On arrival, Topeka police officers located two individuals who were deceased at the scene. Both of those were adult males. Another victim, an adult male suffering from a gunshot wound, was transported to a local hospital. All parties in this incident have been identified. The investigation remains ongoing, and at this time there is no perceived threat to the community. Again, everybody involved in this incident in the 1200 block of Gage has been identified, and we do not believe there is any reason for the public to be threatened by the incident. We encourage our communities with any information they have to reach out. We've put up the email address, we've put up the phone numbers. People know Crime Stoppers, people know how to reach the police department. If you're not comfortable reaching out, confide in a friend, family member, somebody else willing to reach out with the information you have on any of these incidents we've discussed. At this point in time, Commander Monosmith and I will stand for any questions if you have any. Yeah, right here.
The one last night, of course, was in a pretty public setting. So what can you say to the public that maybe are scared and worried for the future being in a public setting like that?
What we can provide is what we often provide, which is always be cautious when you're out anywhere in public. You know, wherever you are, be cautious of your surroundings, be aware of your surroundings. We've been putting out some tips over the last few weeks regarding like safety around the holidays and safety in the community. That always applies. Do what you can, look after yourself, look after your fellow Topekans, look after our community. If you see something that's concerning, notify somebody. If you see something that needs the police there now, let's call 911 and let's have the police respond.
Have you made any arrests on any of these?
The incidents that we've put up today and discussed today, we have not made any arrests.
Were the 3 people shot last night acquainted with each other?
At this point in time, that's an ongoing investigation, and unfortunately, we can't share any of that information. But it does remain ongoing, and the one key thing that I want the community to take out of last night's incident, we at the Topeka Police Department do not believe that the public in our community is in any danger at this time.
Is TPD the only one involved with all these cases?
Yes. The Topeka Police Department, now keep in mind, with our Topeka Police Department, we do have a lot of partner agencies. You know, we have federal task force officers who work as part of those task force, local, state, and other community partners here who work with us on some of these investigations.
Why are you not releasing the name of the 16-year-old?
Because they're 16 years of age, they're a juvenile at this point in time, and in order to give their family and those who care about them a little more time to grieve and deal with and make sure everybody that should know from a personal communication hears it from a personal communication before they hear it from us.
Is that the same reasoning behind your not releasing the other 3 names?
The 3 names from last night, we're less than 24 hours away from when last night's incident occurred. And in order just to make sure we give everybody, you know, a proper opportunity to grieve, to process what they're dealing with, who are personally involved in that incident and those people's lives, we do ask for a little more time before we release that information.
Do you know how many people were in the restaurant or Sonic as well? Do you know anything about the numbers of people that were inside of it when it happened?
Not exact numbers. There were other people around and in and around the restaurants, but not exact numbers, sorry.
Was there an incident at both restaurants, or what were you at on the investigation with that?
It was a continuation of one incident. That's a great question, actually.
So it started at one and continued at the other.
Correct.
Can you tell us where it started and where it continued to?
Started at the McDonald's restaurant, continued to the Sonic restaurant. And again, at this point, there is no reason for the public to be concerned that there's any threat of danger. So.
We can take one more question.
Do you know what it was regarding?
At this time, we do not.
With the individuals that are involved, is there anything on their record or anything that would suggest that this is something that happens often or something like that? I mean, how exactly do you guys know the public's not? It'd be nice to know.
Yeah. What I can tell you is that there are no outstanding persons who we believe would be a danger to the public from that incident. Does that help a little bit?
Yeah,
Say it
absolutely.
that way? Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you all. We appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.